I remember, and I. It was the night after, and we had strolled in to the Rainbow. La Vie Rose was playing on the jukebox. We see our company of friends from the previous night seated. Albert Camus was there too. Come, let's join him, shall we? As far as conversations go, it was generally quiet. And I, to produce an effect, I say, to live in the realm of truth. And Monsieur Camus, he said, the truth, my dear, is a colossal bore. It's blinding. Falsehood, on the other hand, it's a beautiful twilight. I guess it's finally time to tell the story about that date. Before we introduce the characters, I gotta say, the two of them, they belong to the upper strata of society. And the maiden playing the leading role, she's well trained in the school of life. Tutelage on the arts, the sciences, mathematics, the rhetoric, the dialectic, the gymnastic. Of particular interest was algebra. Appearances, we really can't be sure. But there is someone who had remarked that she can skillfully use her eyelashes to reflect the sun of her pupils when she wanted to. 19 and unattached. Why? Well, it's because she finds her suitors kind of boring. Seems like she's great fun to be around because she's of a pleasant disposition, loves to laugh, dance, sing, a sharp sense of humor, and flirtatious. And our hero, he's 25, tall, medium build, broad shoulders, teeth of a dazzling whiteness, and shiny black hair. He's also a decorated officer with the armed forces. He's known for his horsemanship. The two of them have been out on a few dates already, and they find each other's company very agreeable. And so it seems they are looking forward to this upcoming outing. A few more things to be mentioned, I suppose, which is that they belong to this wider social circle, and so they have many friends and acquaintances. And our hero is of this belief that she holds a certain fancy for one of the other guys in this circle. Is it envy, you ask? Yeah, that could be it. Envy is shameful. Hardly anyone would admit to it. And so they head out on this date, mountainous terrain, on horseback. They travel through narrow paths, brushwood, until they come up to a clearing, a certain elevation. They find a shady spot and set up for a picnic. The beautiful river valley below and the north face of the mountain in full view. Lunch and good conversation, tender expressions of fondness. And our hero, in an attempt to amuse her, he starts in review some of their absent acquaintances. This is what he says. At first, I expose their ridiculous sides, and then their bad. What began in jest ends in genuine malice. At first she was amused, but afterwards frightened. You are a dangerous man, she says. I would rather perish in the woods under the knife of an assassin than under your tongue. In all earnestness, I beg of you, when it comes into your mind to speak evil of me, take a knife instead and cut my throat. I think you would not find that a very difficult matter. There is silence for a while. Am I like an assassin then? You are worse. He falls into thought once again. Then begins. Yes, such has been my lot from childhood. All have read upon my countenance marks of bad qualities, which were not existent, but they were assumed to exist, and they were born. I was modest. I was accused of slyness. I grew secretive. I profoundly felt both good and evil. No one caressed me. All insulted me. I grew vindictive. I was gloomy. Other children, merry and talkative. I felt myself higher than they. I was rated lower. I grew envious. I was prepared to love the whole world. No one understood me. I learned to hate. My colorless youth flowed by in conflict with myself and the world. Fearing ridicule, I buried my best feelings in the depths of my heart. And there they died. I spoke the truth. I was not believed. I began to deceive. Having acquired a thorough knowledge of the world and the springs of society, I grew skilled in the science of life, and I saw how others without this skill were happy, enjoying gratuitously the advantages that I so unweariedly sought. Then despair was born within my breast. Not that despair which can be cured at the muzzle of a pistol, but the cold, powerless despair, concealed beneath the mask of amiability and a good-natured smile. I became a moral cripple. Half of my soul had ceased to exist, and the other half moved and lived in the service of all. What remained unobserved was no one ever knew that the half that had perished had ever existed. But now the memory of it has been awakened within me by you, and I have read you its epitaph. To many, epitaphs in general seem ridiculous, but to me they do not, especially when I remember what reposes beneath them. I will not, however, ask you to share my opinion. If this outburst seems absurd to you, then I pray you laugh. I forewarn you, your laughter will not cause me the least chagrin. As you no doubt have guessed, that was the end of the date. They packed up and rode back in silence. I suppose we could ask ourselves a few questions. If you were the gal in this story, would you go out with this guy again? Yes, on another date. And for the gentlemen in our circle, you'd have to go back to a time when you were 25. You got carried away in this attempt to amuse her and got called out. Unexpected. Certainly unpleasant. Did you get overcome by mood? Your instinctive response to play the victim card? To climb out of the hole that you dug yourself into? Did it work? In a way, you could say, our hero. He's the composite portrait of a man in his 20s from a generation gone by. And so I might tell a few more stories about him, title it, just so we can pick it apart, analyze, dissect. We don't have to agree or disagree. Nobody is seeking any truths here. Albert Camus might have said, it's important to keep the discussion going, just so we don't rush to judgment without being able to pronounce a sentence.